Jason Karels, age 35, and his wife Deborah had a very rocky relationship. The couple married then moved to Round Lake Beach in 2017, at the 200 block of East Camden Lane in Sutton, on the Lake subdivision of Round Lake Beach, about an hour northwest of Chicago, Illinois. Karels previously served in the U.S. Army as a cryptologic linguist. After serving in the military he worked as a server for the Cheesecake Factory. However, for the past several months he was unemployed. The couple had 3 children. Bryant, age 5, Cassidy, age 3, and Gideon, age 2. Bryant, 5 years old, was extremely smart for his age. He enjoyed playing video games, and wanted to be an astronaut when he grew up. Cassidy loved makeup and nail polish, but also was a tomboy at heart. She wanted to be just like her mommy. Gideon was a mommy's boy. He absolutely loved dinosaurs and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Deborah worked and provided for the family while Jason played video games. Deborah would work, cook, clean and also take care of all of their children. Deborah tried to get Jason to go get a job but he refused. He mentally and physically abused Deborah. Deborah left Jason numerous times but always ended up going back. However, in May of 2022 she decided to leave with the children, and not go back. She even met with a lawyer and began divorce proceedings. On June 11, Deborah dropped off her children at their father's home so he could spend the weekend with them. She called him on June 12 to discuss a doctor's appointment with him, and asked if he wanted to be there, and he refused, saying he didn't want to get his hopes up about their relationship. She spoke with her children and told them she loved them, then ended the call. On June 13 in 2022 Deborah went to pick up her children. She knocked but nobody answered. She became worried and entered with her key. What she discovered would haunt her for the rest of her life. All 3 of her children were in the master bedroom dead. She immediately called police. When police arrived they began an intense investigation. The homeowner, Jason Karels, was missing from the home and his red 2010 Nissan Maxima was also not in the driveway. Karels was immediately identified as a person of interest. Authorities put out a be on the lookout for Karels and his vehicle. Inside the home police found a note left to Deborah saying, "If I can't have them, neither can you." Police also discovered blood throughout the house, but the blood did not come from the children, and later was determined to belong to Jason Karels. He apparently tried numerous attempts to take his own life but failed. 2 hours later the Illinois State Police noticed his car on Interstate 57 near 115th Street, and chased him for 17 minutes across multiple roads and highways. Eventually Karels' car wrecked into a wooded area on Interstate 80 by Water Street in Joliet. When Carroll was being pulled from the wreckage he admitted to authorities that he murdered his 3 children and attempted suicide numerous times but was unsuccessful. Karels was taken to a nearby hospital for his injuries, then transported to another hospital where he stayed overnight under police guard. Upon release from the hospital he was immediately arrested and charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. Steve Newton from the Lake County Coroner's Office determined after autopsies were performed that all 3 children were drowned. Authorities said that Karels drowned his children in his bathtub, then placed their bodies in his bedroom where police later found them. Authorities also said that Karels has no criminal or mental history. I don't know if anything could have stopped this, or if there were any early indications of it. As I mentioned, we were not familiar with this family nor with the house, but I can tell you we're all deeply affected, Lake Police Chief Gilbert Rivera said. Lake County State's Attorney Eric Reinhard said this is a devastating case for our community, and we are resolved to achieve justice for these 3 innocent children. First, we need to ensure that the defendant is not released pending trial considering the nature of the case and his flight. We have filed a motion asking he be held without bond. Second, we need to give any and every resource available to the family. Finally, within the office, we will devote everything necessary to make sure this brutal crime is punished, and that this defendant never harms anyone again. A Lake County judge assigned Karels a public defender, then set his bond at $10 million. Karels would need to post at least $1 million of that to be released until trial. Deborah Karels spoke to reporters about her loss.
My children were absolutely amazing. They were 3 beautiful little souls, and it deserved this. I should have stuck to my guns and not had their father see them, but I thought what was right is that the father should be involved, the father should see them. I said he would never do anything to the kids, never thought anything of it. And I have regret every day of my life that I let him see those kids. Because I would never have thought that he would have done something so tragic like this. Ryan, he was 5 years old. He was going to start kindergarten this year. And he was super excited to start kindergarten. He was super duper smart. Anything you asked, he had a question for everything and anything. And his response would always be, why? 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 And at some points I had to say, ask Google, because I don't know why. With certain things, like science and everything. He loved Sonic. He loved video games, but he did it to the extent compared to what his father did. His father constantly played games and neglected his family. Where Brian did it, but he always wanted me to interact with him and play with him. He was the smartest kid in the world. And he wanted to be an astronaut to go to the moon. He always told me, don't worry, Mommy, I'll always take care of you. And that was Brian. He was my man. He was the only man I needed in my life. And Cassidy, she was my mini-me. She was a Sour Patch Kid. She was the sweetest girl in the world, but she could also be the evilest, She was a typical woman. A typical woman who, she could be the sweetest person, but then if you got her angry, she would come at you. I didn't have to worry about the safety of my boys, because I knew their sister would take control and handle it all, She loved her makeup, she loved her nail polish, she loved everything girly, no matter how, tomboyish and, strong she was. She still loved her girly stuff. And she loved to eat, just like me. Anything and everything, she would eat, and I loved it. We were eating buddies together. And, Gideon, he was my baby boy. My baby boy that I didn't think I would ever have. And it was like a miracle baby. So surprised because they were Irish twins. He loved Mommy so much. He was a mama's boy. He loved dinosaurs. He loved Luca. He loved Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, the hot dog song. He would bounce his butt to dance. We would all dance together so much. All I wanted to do was dance with my kids. And, every time I left or go to the store or anything, he was just crying because he wanted me back. And I just wish I was there for him that day. I wish I was there to grab him before this all happened. Yeah, I left a month ago. The whole relationship has been rocky, and I've thought about leaving. I've left multiple times, actually. And a month ago, it was kind of like a set in stone, this is it, I need to leave. He hasn't had a job since November. He doesn't do anything around the house. I'm basically the mother and father of the whole relationship. So I could do it on my own. So why not leave? So that's the abuse. Mental and physical abuse. I felt stupid with him the entire relationship, and nobody else has ever made me feel so stupid before. So I left, and then I was meeting with a lawyer. I called a lawyer to get everything official. She had said all you gotta do is get the money, and then we'll send papers. And he found it out, and I think the fact that he knew I would always come back for and I'd always give in, this time it was different. This time I wasn't giving in, I wasn't coming back. It was set in stone that I was leaving because I deserved better. And the most important thing to me were the kids, and he knew that. He knew that nothing mattered to me but those children, and he took them away from me because he knew that would hurt me the most. I mean, at first I was in new joint custody, and then I thought with his, I know he's been mentally ill. He never accepted to get help for it because he said he could always do it himself. He would never get help for it. And he's like, he's fine, he can do it himself, talk to people and they're okay. But in the end, I was going to try to get full custody because I didn't believe him. I wanted my kids to go outside and play rather than being locked upstairs on the TV with video games constantly every day. I wanted to explore the world with my kids rather than being locked in the house. So I was going to try to get full custody for my kids. The fact that he couldn't do it to himself, he couldn't do it to the children. He always told me he couldn't do anything to his children. My beef was with you, not with the children. So I never worried about the children because you love your children and you should never do anything to your children. So it's like it was me. It was a different story. I just had so much faith, so much love. And it would all work out in the end, and it didn't. I tried so hard. I offered him money. I offered him to help him get himself up, ready to go. It was because I would have come back. It's changed everything.
She even tried to, before the day before the children were discovered, she tried to get him to be included with the doctor's appointments.
Because I was supposed to be together as a family. They said, I don't want false hope is what he had said. But I said, okay, well just think about it. If you want to come to the doctor's appointment with us, please come. I want you there. We had happy times in the last conversation asking about birthmarks of the kids and the tooths that were lost and all the stuff with the kids. We had a really happy time, which was mind-blowing to find out that he had killed our kids.
Right after that conversation.
Because we had a really good conversation. So, the only thing to rely on is faith. Before this, I thought, who could think of Jesus and God? Who could think of them? Because they took my children away. But at this point now, that's all you can think about. You don't know until you're in a situation that all you can think about is God and Jesus and the ones you lost, because that's the only amazing feeling you get to know that my kids are with my Father up in heaven fishing. They're with my aunt. They're with my grandma telling them not to touch her drapes. They're all up there right now. So I always thought I was one of those people. How can you think of religion? F religion. They took your kids away. But when it happens to you, that is the only thing you can think about because you want there to be a better side. You want to know that your kids are safe. You want to know that your kids are there, and you want to know that you can be with your kids someday, so that all the other stuff doesn't matter. I will wait till everything happens, and I can be with my children one day. He was in the military, but he never fought combat. He never fought the actual mental combat that you would fight. He was linguistics, just talking about something.
He spoke Arabic.
He spoke Arabic barely in Afghanistan. So then after that, He wanted to join the military so that he could die. He had said that at his father's funeral. He wanted to join the military so he could die. So right there was mental illness. And then the step of our relationship, anytime I thought or threatened of leaving, he said he wanted to kill himself. After a while, it's just kind of a repetitive thing. Like, this person's not actually going to kill himself.
He would just use it as a manipulation tactic.
He never actually did it. And killing himself is one thing, but killing our children is another. It's just like, he would always use it. But then it's like, nobody ever wants to call 911. Hey, this person's going to kill himself. So he'd always use it as a manipulation tactic just to keep me around. And towards the end, he used it as well, but he hadn't used it. He hadn't used it in the last month or so. He was good after, I officially left him for a month. He was better. And then I talked to the kids the night before. Said, I love you so much. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. And the next day, they're gone. So, yeah. So many people told me, do not let him have him. Do not let him have him. He was mentally ill. To leave him constantly, but I was mind manipulated that he was a good person, that he was a good father, that all this stuff, and just kept playing over and over and over and over and over and over again in my mind. So my thing is that if you have an inkling, if you have any kind of theory of no or anything, if this person, first of all, this person says to be suicidal, that's a guaranteed no. Do not let them be these kids. I don't care if it's a father, I don't care if it's a mother, I don't care anything. Do not let them see these kids, because these kids love me so much. They wouldn't be more than their father. I let them go. My baby is sad. This is still only one day, and I left him longer. And if that were the case, I would still be with me today. Just trust your gut. Trust what people say. I don't care if those people are crazy. Trust what they say. I don't care how many courts, how many law officers, anybody get involved. Stick to your gut and keep your kids. If that is all that matters, because some people out there don't care about them.
Lake County Board member Dick Barr said in a public statement, like so many of you, my heart is broken tonight. Tragedy pierced the barrier between TV news and our own hometown and backyards. 3 young and innocent souls were taken from this earth by unspeakable evil. That unspeakable evil existed in the heart and mind of the man who so heinously took the lives of 3 of his own children. But that evil does not represent our town, our neighborhood, our street. That evil has been in the hearts and minds of many people, and it pays no mind to an address, community, or even a country. It exists in Round Lake to Lake Forest and everywhere in between. This was not a criminal act that is emblematic of who we are or where we live, rather a selfish soul void of humanity, void of compassion, void of mental well-being, who cared more about himself than he did about his own children. As heartbroken as I am equally angry. I'm angry that this coward is not dead while his innocent children are stacked up at the morgue and his estranged wife weeps with sorrow no human alive should ever have to endure. I'm angry we continue to argue politics while mental illness stands at the center of all these tragedies and we do nothing about it. He continued, please, spread guidance and love on their poor mother who was the target of this evil. And please help our community heal, together. And God forgive me for my hypocrisy, as I wish great pain and suffering to this monster. Neighbors, hug your loved ones, wave to your neighbors, and pray for the peace of that poor mother. A GoFundMe was set up for Deborah Karels to help with funeral expenses, and assist Deborah during this difficult time. Over $100,000 was raised so far to help the mother. A trial date is yet to be determined. Jason Karels was mentally and physically abusive towards his wife. He refused to get a job and help support his family. When his wife left and he knew she wasn't coming back, the time he decided to take the one thing he knew she loved most in the world, their children. He claims he attempted to kill himself numerous times, but it's ironic that these cowards always find a way to take innocent lives, but when it comes to taking their own they somehow fail. If someone truly wanted to end their own life, they do it with the same vigor they used in taking their children's lives. It's a shame that he robbed this world of 3 beautiful souls. They deserved far more. Hopefully Deborah can get therapy and find a way to move forward despite the devastating losses she suffered. May Bryant, Cassidy, and Gideon rest in peace. That concludes this episode. Keep your eye out for the next volume, coming soon. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.
Want to help support the channel you love, and get something in return? Simply purchase some Elizabeth's Chronicles merch. We have coffee mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, cozy blankets, beach towels, phone covers and more. Use the coupon code EC10OFF4U and get 10% off your order. The link to order is in the description area below this video. Thanks for helping Elizabeth's Chronicles continue to make the videos you love.